back together again.
I mean, the dynamic duo. Hello.
And that's right. I never bring out my fan for anything that's not Drag Race. You know what? We're doing it today. Why not? Anyway, welcome to The Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the tea in reality. I'm Logan Murphy, just a gay. Here I am drinking this island mango kombucha from Brew Doctor this evening. It's really good. I'm happy with it. It's got ginger, some passion fruit, mango. Obviously, it's a good find. I'm happy with it.
Aren't you fancy with your kombucha? Meanwhile, hello, I am Lana, your resident diva, given to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea. So if you have some tea, send it to me because you know your girl loves it. And me, I'm a simple, basic chick tonight. I'm just drinking water, but not in a basic cup. It's my big Polar Pop cup.
Come through, Polar Pop.
Polar Pop ice water because the girl has to stay healthy and hydrated in these streets.
I understand. Mine's a little bit smaller, but I'm right there with you. And we are here talking about a fun new show that popped out of the woodwork, out of nowhere, it seems like. We're talking about Claim to Fame, the first episode, because that's all that's out so far.
I mean, like, I didn't know we would actually cover this, but because we didn't know what this show was about, if it was going to be a hit, if it was going to be something we were interested in. And we both watched it, and here we are. So obviously, we like it enough to want to talk about it. So let's talk about it.
It's got some of my favorite things. People adjacent to celebrities, social strategy gameplay, 2 of 4 Jonases. And I will say my preferred Jonases. Kevin has always been my personal favorite. And I love Frankie Jonas. That's just like the perfect pick to go with this too.
Let me say, I'm going to be really honest right now. I did not know there was a Frankie Jonas. I had no idea who Frankie Jonas was. I was like, oh, there's another Jonas? I thought it was
5 of them, I think.
See.
Oh, wait, no. That's a lie. I think it's 4 because Danielle Jonas is Kevin Jonas's wife, I believe.
Wife, yes.
So I think there's 4.
I always thought it was just the 3 boys with Nick and Joe and Kevin. Frankie just came out of nowhere for me. But you know what? If you're going to do a show called Claim to Fame, and you're going to have people who are adjacent to celebrities, Frankie Jonas is the perfect host to have who's adjacent to celebrities. So.
And I love the 2 of them together. Because I believe they're the oldest and the youngest of the Jonases. I think. I know Frankie is the youngest. I'm not sure about Kevin, but
I think Kevin is the youngest.
Yeah. It's really funny though, because my roommate was actually watching the show. And he was like, this seems like something you would enjoy. And I was like, maybe I'll get around to watching it later. And then I would pop in because my desk situation is in our dining room and the living room's literally right over there. And I kept watching it little bit. And then I just sat down and I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm going to watch the whole damn thing. And I really enjoyed this first episode. There's a few things that annoyed me editing, but I mean, for the first episode of a brand new show, I'm not too mad at it.
I will just say that when I watched this show, I was like, I went in with open mind, not knowing what was going to happen, of course, because this is a brand new show. Of course, we don't know what's happening. But, of course, we love social strategy games. Strategy games is our jam. This is what we love. This is what we do. And this game and these people playing this game was giving me social strategy like nobody's business. Like these people were playing these games like they were on Survivor, or they gave me more strategy in this one episode than Big Brother did all week. I will say that.
That part. And it's so interesting because like people are already being used as pawns.
Yes.
There are alliances forming. I'm like,
what? People like helping folks like I don't want this person now. Everybody knows who one person is, but nobody, the person who wants to don't want to get around. We'll talk
about Adria because oh boy.
This was so crazy. This was like I did not expect this much social strategic gaming in this game, but they are playing it, and I'm enjoying watching it.
It reminded me of, and I'm pretty sure you're going to remember this show because they only did it for one season, and I really wish they had done it for more. Do you remember Who Done It?
I do remember that show.
It gave me a little bit of those vibes in a very different way, but I love Who Done It. I wish they had done more seasons. That show was just like social strategy meets like just camp at the highest level because of how like over the top the deaths were. Like that, all of that. And that gave me a little bit of that, and so I'm hopeful. But I know, Lana, you missed the Two Truths and a Lie segment where we did find out one person's. Well, we found out two. One of them is very, very obvious as to who their celebrity relation is. I'm just going to get out of the way. Louise, a.k.a. a.k.a. Adria Biles. Oh.
It's hard to go into a house looking just like your sibling and expect no one to figure it out. Like, okay, I have two sisters. My younger sister and I look very, very much alike. There's no way you would deny. If you saw us together, you would know. So that's like me going in and she's the celebrity, and I'm like, oh, my name is Gina.
Come through, Gina.
And I look nothing like the celebrity Courtney. Never. Like, and we look so, it is so hard. I feel so bad for her. I'm like, oh, Louise, AKA.
Realistically, how long do we think Adria is going to last?
Adria is going to be the first person when they really want to get somebody out. If they're not in her alliance, if her alliance don't put them up, she's gone. She's gone.
Yeah.
Because we'll talk later, but go ahead.
Yeah. And so the other one that we found out was Amara. We found out that Amara is the granddaughter of Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh.
So those are the two that we got like definitive, hey, I'm going to show photos of me with my celebrity relation situation. So those are the two we know for sure 100%.
So they show them during, like, in their confessionals.
Yeah. So what they did to start the show, first of all, and you might have missed this too. Apparently, they're hosting this in Katy Perry's former house.
Okay, cool.
They made sure to mention that, and I said, okay, cool. But so they start the evening with a Two Truths and a Lie segment where you have to give 3 statements about your celebrity relation, what your relation to them is, what they are both best known for, and what their like most prestigious award is. And one of them is a lie. So that way you're not giving all of their information out immediately. So like, for example, Amara with Whoopi Goldberg, she said that the relation is her grandma, which is true. She's best known for being an actress, which is true. But Amara said that her most prestigious award is an AVN award, which is an adult film award. I thought this was so smart. And she says it in confessional. She's like, most people don't pay attention to porn awards. And so I'm going to throw people off a little bit by mentioning this like random weird thing. Amara did this very well. Adria, on the other hand, tried to do the same thing and didn't do it nearly as well because she said that the most prestigious award her relation has received is the Honda Broderick Cup Award. I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is either.
It's a real award. I've heard of it. I just don't know what it is. So
I'm sure it has something to do with the sports world.
I think it's, oh God, I think it's a tennis award, but I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I would have surely been like, she won the French Open just so I could throw them off and make them think I'm the Williams sister.
Right.
Please. Because they would have immediately thought, oh, she's related to the Williamses. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Keep thinking that.
Yeah. So we get a few highlights from people that the editors clearly want us to pay attention to. And the first of those is X, who says that his relation is his father, which is a lie. We later find out that his relation is his twin. And I'm going to talk a lot about X because I'm 99% sure who X is related to.
It's his twin? Oh, now that makes sense. I think I know who he's related to now.
It's a vocal cadence thing. We'll talk about it. It took me a while to figure it out. But and that they're best known for being an actor, and their biggest award is an Emmy. So we find that out. We then get to meet Maxwell, who we'll talk a lot about Maxwell. But his relation is his grandpa, which is true. He's best known for being a singer, which is not true. And the best award is a Hollywood Walk of Fame star. And Maxwell reveals here that his grandpa is actually best known for his films. We'll talk about that later. Brittany says that her relation is her dad and that her dad is an athlete, which are both true. And the lie is that he's won an Emmy. And Brittany reveals that her dad is a Super Bowl champion. She's the other one I'm about 99% sure on. And it all comes down to voice, which is really strange, but I'll talk about that later. We get Logan. Now, I already don't like him because he has my name, and I'm the better Logan. But anyway, I'm kidding. So he says that his relation is his grandpa, which is not true, but that he's a musician and the highest award is an ACM award. We find out that it's actually his cousin. So we know that. Then we get LC, and LC says that she is creating a character for this entire experience and that we're all going to find out who LC is, including herself. I think that's a really, really smart way to go into this. Because if you're just kind of creating the character on the fly and you can keep up with all of your lies, I think that's going to be a really smart plan, but we'll see how that pans out for her later. But she says that her relation is her father, which is not true, but that they are an actor and they've won an Emmy. And then we get one or two things about the other half of the cast. Like, we don't get the full true truths and a lie. So we find out that Lark's relation is her aunt. Pepper says that she mentions a he, and that he is a comedian, but that is not true. Dominique says that her father is not best known for being an actor. That was a lie. Kai says that her relation, who she refers to as she, won a Grammy, which is true. And Michael says that his relation, also referred to as her, biggest award is an Emmy. And then that's when Louise, aka Adria, does hers as well. So that was all the intro. Boom, 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 boom. We then get the discovery of the clue wall. We see Dominique immediately going to the clue wall. And we see some people looking at the clue wall. And then we see Logan. And Logan is doing the most. Logan is out here night one with his notebook. It felt very like overplaying a little bit from a social strategy perspective, at least. He's like subtly digging for information. And then Elsie gives one of my favorite quotes of the episode where she says that Logan's accent is giving Savannah, Georgia, the boots are giving Texas, and the face is giving London.
Okay.
And I mean, she clocked the hell out of him because we find out Logan is from Georgia, but he's going to tell everybody that he's from Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get a little bit about X. This is where X reveals that the next morning reveals that his relative is his twin. And then X brings out the note where we find out that the challenge is going to be performing in the Claim to Fame talent show with a live audience.
They did not know it was a live audience until they got there.
Yeah. And some people were freaking out about it. And by some people, I mean Brittany.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't understand. Okay.
Yeah.
Some people deserve to freak out. Some people should have never even got on that stage. And some people just shined.
And some people, we didn't even get to see their talent.
Right. I don't have we don't know half the folks what their talent was because
there's three of them.
I feel like the editing is just letting us know who not to care about because they're not going to be there long enough for us to care about. So it's like, okay, cool.
And apparently the people to not care about in this instance are Dominique, Kai, and Amara. And I hate that it's all Black women.
I mean, it's still reality TV in America. But we move.
Anyway, what talent performances stood out to you, Lana?
The best, the winner, Brittany. That was a beautiful painting. That worked. I loved her doing her little story as she talked and she did it. Even though she was freaking out so much, it was just like, oh, that was great. And then there was X. And I was like, what? What? Did you were bad on purpose, right? This had to be bad on purpose because he's like, I'm a composer. This is what I do. And I'm like, this is not what you do.
But then he says in confessional, his plan is to win every challenge. And I know those were spliced together. They were not filmed on the same day. And like, cool. But
you plan on winning and then that is what you do?
Yeah.
Ooh, bam, bam, bam. What? Excuse me? For a talent show? Who does that?
X.
And then it was like, why?
Yeah.
Elsie, girl.
Oh, God.
Girl.
Louise.
Girl. Basketball girl.
Michael.
Boy.
This is also, I will say, this is also where we find out, Michael's real cute, by the way. Just want to throw that out there.
I think I know who his person might be.
Oh, I'm excited. I have no clue. But he does say in this moment that his relative is a actor, singer, dancer. So we know.
That's why I think I know who this person is.
Okay. Ooh, I'm interested. Okay. I think the second and third best for me personally were probably Lark and Logan. Honestly, I thought Logan did a decent job.
Lark on the violin. I was like, I at least knew what the song was. I've heard it. It sounded like the song itself.
Sure, yeah.
Would she be in the symphony orchestra? Not, probably not. But she did well enough to. Well, we knew what the song was.
She might be like fifth or sixth chair violin for her local orchestra.
Right. In the B squad.
Sure. The junior varsity orchestra. Fifth or sixth chair in the junior
varsity orchestra.
Oh no, not that.
But I knew the song was I knew what song it was, and I'm like, okay, I can recognize it. And Logan on the piano. I was like, not bad.
On the guitar.
Oh, on the guitar. Okay, yeah, not bad, not great, just okay.
It gave me, you know what it gave me? And this is going to be a deep cut because I don't know how many people will have watched both Claim to Fame and the American Song Contest. It gave Jonah Prill.
I was not going to take Jonah Prill. I was thinking I was thinking American Song Contest too. But remember the guy, he didn't make it past the first round.
Okay.
He was just dry. He just stood there with his guitar, and he was an older guy. Can't even remember his name. Can't even remember the song. But he just stood in one spot. He had a beard and it was hat, and he just stood in there. And our review was like, he just gave nothing without the nothing. I can't remember his name.
I'm pulling them up really quickly because I'm kind of curious.
I want to say, I'm trying to think of where he was from. Oh gosh,
Andrew Shepard.
I think that was the guy, because he was the older. He just stood in there first round, and he just stood there with his guitar. He sang his little song.
Because we're not thinking of Right in the Middle, right? We're not thinking of
that. Right in the Middle went on to the next round.
I think we're thinking of Andrew Shepard, and I want to say, if I'm taking a wild guess, I want to say he's from Idaho.
What's the song? We have the song.
Steady Machine.
That's it. That is the song. I knew the song. I just could not. That's who it is. That's who it is. That's who he reminds me of. He just was there. He sang his song. He gave me nothing, but he wasn't horrible.
Right. Yeah. That's that's kind of
where I'm at. But that's how I felt about with Logan. I was like, he's not horrible, but he just really is not giving me anything.
He probably sounds pretty half decent with autotune. Let's say
probably.
Mm-hmm. But yes, Brittany wins. Woo, Brittany! I like her, despite not seeing a whole lot of her. I think I like her.
I did too. I think her winning this competition just elevated her up to what I guess the producers and the editors made us want to have to see her more, so we can end up know how we feel about her.
Yeah, and then in the bottom two, up for the guess off, which we could have come up with so many more creative names than guess off, but because there's only one guess happening. Mm-hmm. I would have been more okay with the guess.
The guess.
Or there's an air of mystery.
The guesser.
Well, the person who is doing the guessing is the guesser.
So just call it the guesser, a guess off, because it's not a guess off. Not both of them are saying anything.
See, and that's what made me think. I thought they were going to guess each other, and then I'm like, what happens if they're both right? Do they both go home? Okay, bye. But yes. So Pepper and LC are the bottom two. They are up for the guess off, and we get back to Katy Perry's former mansion. And it is 2 a.m. and Logan is at the social strategy. And I have to give him props where props are deserved here, because he's got this whole group in the kitchen and he's like, I know that we all know who we are going to do. We all know, except for Pepper. We all know that Louise is related to Simone Biles. And I just loved the montage of everyone in this library confessional being like, Simone Biles. Oh my God, Simone Biles. She looks like Simone Biles. And then Pepper going, I have no clue. And I felt so bad. I don't think Pepper is long to stay with us. And I feel really bad because I think I like her. I don't know. But then Logan is like, well, if Pepper's not 100% sure, LC is 100% sure, I'm going to vote for Pepper because I have no clue who her relation is.
Yeah.
And then
the social strategy, let me just cut out the social part. The strategy that was played out in that moment was brilliant, and it was a joy to watch, because I was like, oh, I didn't expect that from this show. I wasn't expecting this strategic mega minds to come out and be like, yes, everybody knows who Louise is. We all know. LC is 100% sure if she goes in to be the guesser, that's who she's guessing, so
That's
she could be
layup.
right.
Yeah.
That's the layup shot. But if Pepper doesn't know, then why do we not get rid of somebody we definitely don't know, and we can keep the person we definitely do know around for another time when we need that layup shot? Yeah. Because you don't give up a layup if you got a slam dunk right there.
Especially in week 1. And Elsie even says that later. She's like, it is way too early for me to be using my layup. I need to like do whatever I need to do here. Mm-hmm. But then Amara, after this conversation, goes to the bedroom and wakes up Pepper and Louise and is just like, this is what happened. Because Amara wants to work with these girls, and I love this little alliance that's forming. And Louise is like, yeah, everyone knows who I am. I'm not going to make it far in this game. I need help. And so they all come together. They start talking about who they think the relations are. And they say that Lark might be related to Catherine Zeta-Jones, which I don't think so. We'll talk about the clue later. But then they kind of hone in on Maxwell and all of these clues from the clue wall, and they start thinking Steven Spielberg, which not a bad
clue.
Guess.
Not a bad guess. Not a bad guess. Because when I looked at the clues that they showed, I was like, I can see where you would get Steven Spielberg from these clues. It makes sense. I understand. And Pepper was very certain about her guess. She was like, I'm 98% sure he is related to Steven Spielberg. So, and went on the next day telling everybody she's 98% sure that this is Steven Spielberg. And everybody was like, possibly. Okay. Pepper it is.
It then makes me think, what does the shark have to do with anything?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of what it means. I don't know.
I wish we got a better view of the clue wall, because now I want to do some like sleuthing and detectiving and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, I want to see.
You know what would make it even better or cooler for them to do? Like after the person is revealed who they are, then we show the clues and they show what these clues meant. So people are like, oh, that breaks it. Even if they don't do it to the contestants, show the viewers.
Sure, yeah.
So it could be the game within the game. Oh, I can't believe I'm saying that.
Not the game within the game.
But the game for the viewers, let's say that. A game for the viewers, because we're also sitting here trying to figure out who these people are. Yeah. And so it will be nice if, as a viewer, after it's over, after the person's revealed, be like, this is what this meant. Like the shark meant this for Chuck Norris. And sorry. But, it meant what it is. So, yeah. It'll be nice.
Yeah, I do agree with that. But yeah, so they have a chat in the morning. We talked about Elsie, her layup. And then Brittany, for winning the challenge, gets a personal clue. And she goes into this side, like butler's pantry almost in Katy Perry's former house. Yeah, a little wine cellar. And there's like little wine bottles with everybody's name on. I was like, the budget. Cute. And it's like surrounded by wine. I was like, oh, I like this. And so she gets to pick whoever's bottle she wants. And she picks Lark.
Because she likes Lark.
Because she wants to work with
Lark. She wants to work with Lark. So she said, I'll pick Lark's clue so nobody else could pick Lark's clue. I said.
And I think that is the case. So I think now whoever wins the next challenge is going to go in and they're going to know that Brittany has Lark's clue then.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
I guess it would then be in a more advantageous position to be the second winner, if that's the case. Or are they going to replace Lark's clue? Who knows? I don't know.
Or they could put in just a piece of paper and it's nothing. And so it's like...
The gag.
The gag of it all. Just open the clue and be like, nothing.
Gag. But we get this series of pictograms, which I was very happy they decoded for us because I was like, huh?
What?
Huh. What? But so the pictograms translate to runway queen in the 80s. I have a thought, but I don't think they look similar.
Runway queen in the 80s. Ooh.
And we know that Lark's relation is her aunt. My mind went immediately to Christy Brinkley.
Christy Brinkley is a good one. I was thinking Brooke Shields even too.
I think it's someone of that universe.
Like
adjacent to the Tyras and the Naomis and the Imans and like adjacent to, okay, I couldn't remember and I didn't bother looking it up. Who was that woman who was always, she's wild and eccentric and she was always a guest judge on America's Next Top Model. What is her name?
Janice Dickinson.
Janice Dickinson. I also was thinking Janice Dickinson.
Possibly.
It's someone of those relations.
What if, because she said her aunt, right? Mm-hmm. What if it's somebody like Amon, but from David Bowie's side, and she's going from...
Could you imagine
if she's using Amon, because nobody will guess she's Amon's niece because she's white. And she could have easily said, use David Bowie as her... Oh, if she's playing like that... Okay.
We're going to watch out for Lark. That's what I'm going to say here. And then we get this interesting conversation with Maxwell and X, where Maxwell is like, yeah, my grandpa's never had a phone. I have to like go through his attorney in order to talk to him. And I'm like,
it was so outrageous that I didn't want to believe it.
Now that we know
now I know who it is, I'm like, I totally believe it.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. We got a lot of weird editing in the second half of the episode with Maxwell specifically for obvious reasons. But I was like, we get like random shots of him painting his nails. And then it all makes sense later on. But yeah, okay, Lana, we've made it to the guest off. We are there.
Yeah. Everybody gets to go into the photo booth.
The
photo booth, as they say. I'm like, okay. Anyway.
I was cool with that. I was like, that's kind of cute. I'm here for it.
I mean, look, I love a good creative name for anything. So I'm here for the photo booth.
I mean, we have the most creative name in the world, the Currently Unnamed Podcast.
I mean, come on. But yeah, they get to go into the photo booth and decide between Elsie and Pepper. So I guess this is where the guess off is the name for guess off, because you have to go and guess between the two, and so it's a guess off between those two. I don't know. It's a stretch, but so everybody gets to go in and decide who they want to become the guesser, and it was kind of back and forth for a minute, but then Pepper ended up running away with it, and everybody chose Pepper, or most of the house chose Pepper to become the guesser.
Well, so we're missing one vote, and I don't remember. I think it's from Michael. I don't remember seeing Michael vote.
I mean, I think the editing would just not go see everything and everybody.
Well, so we saw the votes for Elsie were Kai and Dominique, just as a fair warning. It seems presumably everybody else voted for Pepper. So Pepper goes up, and she's all real kinds of confident. She's like, I picked Maxwell.
Maxwell's like, what? He's very shocked.
He fully goes. Okay. And honestly, like me too, that would probably be my reaction, but a little gayer, obviously. And so they go up, and it's the drama, and he's like, "Who do you think I'm related to?" And then it's cut, hold, and I'm like,
"Stop filming, please."
I'm like,
"Hold on, guys."
I have not been this gagged by a reality TV moment since season 9 of RuPaul's Drag Race, when they told Valentina to take off the mask. I was like, what is happening? Those of y'all that get it, get it. I'll send you the clip later, Lana. But they stop. Kevin and Frankie go off. They come back, and we find out that Maxwell cheated.
Yeah, you are in a reality show and a guessing reality show. You've got to guess people, and you can find out anything on the internet. So obviously, they tell these people, everybody, you have to turn in your phones. You can't have phones on the show. No computer of any sort, because you can always Google anybody and find out who they are.
Literally.
And so we see video of Maxwell in his room at night, going through his bag, getting into bed, getting under the covers, thinking he's hiding in anything, and we hear doop, 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 on his phone.
Like, was that edited in, or was that real?
That had to be edited because nobody's that stupid. Right. Nobody's that dumb to leave their phone the keypad noise on. Like,
and then after this whole conversation about how his grandpa doesn't have a phone, I'm like, how did you get a phone in here?
Well, it's 3 days. They were there for 3 days. You cannot be without your phone for 3 days. Or for however many long you're ending on the show, you can't be without your phone. Like, I get it. My phone is my life. It's my right hand. But if I'm going on a show for a reality show, I know I'm not going to have it. I'll go through withdrawals in the house without it. But sure, I'm not going to take it in. It's not that important for me to sneak in and get kicked out.
Yeah.
There it is. But Max is disqualified. And Pepper doesn't even have to guess because he cheated.
Good.
And so everybody was like, they were like, so you're going to have to go. Because we take the rules very, very seriously.
I did appreciate that he was fully like, yeah.
Yeah, I did.
I did that.
I had fun these last 3 days. Thanks, guys.
I was like, did you really? But before he leaves, we find out who his relation is. Mm-hmm. And he did say in a confessional earlier that he was like, I don't think anyone's relation is going to be more famous than mine. And I was like, okay, cocky little statement, whatever. Then we find out he's related to Chuck Norris. And I was like,
still not. I don't think Chuck Norris is famous, but he is not the most famous. That's in that house.
Maybe like famous is in like time that you've been famous.
Yes.
Chuck Norris.
Yes, but Chuck Norris. And Chuck Norris is mean. Like, Chuck Norris has not meme famous, but I guess meme famous because the whole Chuck Norris could kick down the world or whatever Chuck Norris does. Those type of things. Chuck Norris is very much he's legit. Chuck Norris is legit. Yeah. And so yes, he has a legit grandfather in Chuck Norris. And yeah, but I think it's going to be some people who's revealed who's very famous.
Yeah. Speaking of those,
let's
get into our speculation.
Okay.
Our tea time, if you will.
I only have one that I'm very comfortable with that I think I know who this person might be related to. So I'll just jump and do mine quickly because it won't take me any time. I think Michael is related to Zendaya.
Oh. Yep. Okay. I like that. Okay.
I think he's related to her in some way, maybe a cousin or a sister.
I don't think it was.
I don't think Zendaya has a sister or anything, or brother.
It was not mentioned what Michael's relation to the famous person is. All we know is that it is a her. Okay, I like the Zendaya guess. I really do.
That's one that I'm besides Simone Biles' sister. We all know
obviously. Okay, I like that. Okay, so I have one that I'm about 99% sure.
Okay.
And it's X.
Okay.
Because I watched the episode technically twice. I watched bits and pieces and then I watched the whole thing. And the whole time I was like, X has this very particular vocal cadence. And I'm like, I've watched someone with this vocal cadence before. and I couldn't place it, and then all of a sudden it hit me. I think X is related to Laverne Cox.
Okay.
Because if you listen to their voices, I hear similarities in the way that they talk, and X is talking about how his relation is a twin. I believe Laverne Cox has a twin. I could be very wrong.
Okay.
But that's my guess for X.
Okay.
And then Brittany, based solely on the way she talks, and we found out that her father is a Super Bowl champion. My safe bet for her is Brett Favre.
Okay.
Because she gives me that accent of people from Wisconsin a little bit.
Okay.
And so I think my guess for that is Brett Favre.
Okay.
And I have a loose guess for Logan based on where he's from, because he said he's from Georgia. And someone we know who is a country music star who was also on reality TV, I believe is from Georgia. So my mind went to Chase Rice, who was originally on Survivor.
Okay. Well, I believe you are correct about X. I think I do believe you are correct about X.
Well, because I think that's why he's using X as a pseudonym. Right.
But I think, that is, because I think he uses a pseudonym in his real life as well, but people might know the pseudonym. So he couldn't come and use his same pseudonym in this house to, and still be, if people knew who he was. But yes, I think you're right. Did I look it up? Yes, because I'm nosy that way, and I refuse. Look, I'm not playing the game within the game. If I think I know who you are, I'm going to say, yeah, that's who you are.
I have a loose guess as well for LC. Okay. And this is kind of baseless.
Okay.
But I'm gonna guess Samuel L. Jackson.
Okay.
And I think the reason I went that direction is because LC is creating this character. Mm-hmm. And because I think Samuel L. Jackson is so universally recognizable that maybe she didn't want, I feel like people would know the names of the kids of Samuel L. Jackson. You know what I mean? Okay. So I think that's maybe... It's a completely baseless claim. I'm going to say Samuel L. Jackson. Why not?
Okay.
But,
okay. I mean, I don't know. I have no idea. Like I said, the only person I thought I would know is Michael. And that's
I like that guess.
And I didn't look it up. I did not look that up. I don't know if that's true. I just feel like when he said that it was her, and she's an actor, singer, and dancer, and she won an Emmy, I'm like,
there's very few women and even fewer Black women who fit that mold.
Right, singer, dancer, actor who won Emmys. So I'm like, that just makes me scream Zendaya. Now, I will say, before I heard him speak, before I heard this person say a word, when I saw Logan, I was like, is he related to Tom Holland? Because he looked like Tom Holland.
He does kind of look like the Southern Tom Holland.
But then he started talking and was like, "Oop, no, nah."
I was like, that is a deep South accent. Jesus.
I was like, I wanted, at first I said Blake Shelton, that he kind of, he could be related to Blake Shelton. But then Georgia was the thing. So I'm like, nah, because Blake Shelton was born in, it's a Texas boy.
Yeah.
Or Oklahoma boy.
Oklahoma,
he's an Oklahoma boy. So I'm like, it's not him. So now I'm thinking about all the ones who are from Georgia.
I just thought of someone else who's from Georgia, Jason Aldean.
Yeah. And I
think the only other person
I
that I
can
can
see
think
that.
of. Yeah.
I can see that him being related to Jason Aldean. I'm gonna try not to look up any more people.
Me
I will say
too.
that.
It's
I'm
so
very
difficult to not
hard
look them up.
because look, we ain't playing. We're not getting no cash at the end of this, so
Because
why not?
let's be honest, every season of The Masked Singer, I've looked up who everybody is. I'm just going to be 100% real and honest because I don't really care. I just want to see what happens. And then I found out on this most recent season that En Vogue was on, and I was like, well, shit, maybe I should have watched.
I knew it was in Vogue when they started singing. Like those were one of the people I was like, that is in Vogue. Because honey, if I never want to emulate anybody, it was in Vogue.
They got En Vogue and Jennifer Holliday on the same season of The Masked Singer. I'm sorry.
I didn't know Jennifer Holliday was there.
Oh no, I'm very sorry.
I did not know. I didn't watch a lot of Masked Singer. I just saw En Vogue, and I saw it was a group, and I was like, okay, it's a group. Mm-hmm. Let me see. And when they started singing, I was like, oh, that's En Vogue, 100% En Vogue. Well, I've been sure about a few people on the Masked Singer. I'm not going to say I've been sure about everybody, but I've been very sure about a lot of people. En Vogue was one of those people. Michelle Williams was one of those people.
And for me, it was immediately was Leanne Rimes. That was the one I knew because I grew up with her. Mm-hmm, like that's Leanne. That's Leanne. Down. But
yeah, yeah, we're not talking about the Masked Singer, but we can talk.
We're talking about Claim to Fame, which I'm very excited to continue to cover.
Yeah, I am too, and so yeah, I think this is going to be an interesting show. It's going to. I'm interested in watching them, do all the strategic work because, like I said, they've showed more strategy in this one episode than I saw Big Brother all week. So I was very happy to see that. Mm-hmm. And yeah, we're not talking about them anymore. But yeah, so I'm excited to see what they do, and I'm excited to cover it. So we'll be back next time with more coverage of Claim to Fame.
Sure. Work. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share on the way out. And cheers to Adria Biles because she needs it.
She needs all the help she can get. Oh, baby.
Yes. Cheers.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye now.
Bye.
So long, farewell.